Hello, I'm Marian Keyes and I'm delighted to answer some of the questions you've sent in via Eason's Asks. So question 1, how do I combat the voice in my head that tells me I don't know what I'm talking about? The thing is, the voice is often right. I think if I am feeling edgy about what I've already written, it's important for me to go back and check, or to go deeper, or to spend longer thinking about people's motivations. And then if I feel like I've done all the work I can in it, the question I ask myself is, if I hadn't written it, would I want to read it? And if the answer is yes, then that has to be enough. Like, insecurity is all part of the writing process, and you've got to find out when it serves you and when it's your enemy, and it's not always your enemy. Do I have a favourite of my books? Funnily enough, the answer I always gave until now was the favourite is always the one that I'm working on. Any writer will say that, because that has the potential to be perfect. You know, if it's not completed, it can still be perfect. And obviously when it is completed, it isn't. But at the moment, actually, my favourite is Grown Ups, my latest book. Just an awful lot went right in that book. I'm proud of an awful lot in that book. And that's just where it is. That's where my journey has taken me at the moment. So it's a first for me to say that my most recent book is my favourite. In writing Grown Ups, what inspired me to write about a dysfunctional Irish family? The thing is, all families are dysfunctional because all human beings are flawed, and all human beings have a huge gap between the need to be civilised and thereby be part of a group, and then the animalistic urges, or the very selfish urges that are also inside of us. And I like that. I like watching that gap in people, and how people manage those baser hungers. And you can see it in any group of people, whether it's a family, a group of friends, a work group. And I just thought it would be entertaining and fun to write about it. I also thought it would be a good opportunity to be compassionate about human beings. So they were the reasons that made me want to write Grown Ups. Will I ever write an autobiography? I don't think so. It's funny because so much of me is out in the world anyway, you know, and I put a lot of my stuff on Twitter and Instagram. The thought of sitting down and writing an autobiography gives me the shudders. I'm not exactly sure why, because it's not like I have any great secrets. It just doesn't attract me, not in a formal way. I'm very happy, you know, to write entertaining sentences that people have said to me and put it on Twitter. But, oh, that awful thing, she was born in a blah-de-blah, just fills me with dread. No plans. Which authors inspire me most? So many. I read almost entirely women because I want to find out what human beings are thinking. And I don't need to search for male opinions because they dominate all media. Women, it's a lot harder to find out what we're thinking because we don't get published in the same numbers. You know, we don't get to edit newspapers. We don't get to be on the telly in the same way. So I read an awful. I only read contemporary fiction. It's the only thing that excites me, and I love reading books by young women, millennials and younger. I am so interested in their take on things. I love reading people who are very honest about relationships, about friendships. You know, there's this myth that friends, female friends, you know, are there for you through thick and thin, whereas, you know, romantic relationships will often disappoint you. And I just prefer to read people who are more honest about every relationship, in that people, no matter how much you love them and they love you, it will inevitably hurt you. So I'm not going to pick out any one particular, you know, several particular authors, because I'm hungry for them all. I like, yeah, you know, any books that are honest, written by women, set in the now times, and which are not sentimental. I'm very off sentimentality at the moment. And there are so many great books being published by women at the moment. It's a wonderful time. An awful lot of great Irish ones, particularly. So thank you to all of you who submitted a question to Eason's Asks. And my latest book, Grown Ups, is available to order on easons.com now. Thanks a million.